Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for watching my videos. This video we are going to talk about duties and responsibilities of second officer. This video is the next video in the series of videos where we are looking at roles and responsibilities of ship staff. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Please do like this video if you understand and the content is useful for you. Please share the video with your friends and colleagues and comment if you have any more points to add in this or you would want any other topic to be covered. Thank you so much for watching my videos and let's jump into the video. What does second officer do? The second officer performs many functions. First, how important is the second officer rank? First, let us understand who is the second officer. Second officer is the third in the hierarchy on the deck side. Okay, first is the master, second is the chief officer, and third is the second officer. Sometimes in some companies or some ships, there is one more rank in between called the first officer. So the hierarchy becomes master, chief officer, first officer, and the second officer. The second officer requires a second mate foreign going certificate of competency as a minimum. Okay, so he has to complete his cadetship and then clear his second mate's certificate of competency. Then usually 90% of the companies he is placed as third officer. Then after some experience he is promoted to second officer rank. So that's how second officer ranks comes. And 99% of the ships, if it is a little bigger ships, all the ships will have second officer required as per the safe manning certificate. Safe manning document, what it is, I have already covered a video. Please go and watch that video. I have covered all the details, what is required, what is the document, how does it affect the ship, who issues it, all the details I have covered in that video. Please go and watch that video. Okay, so second officer is a very important rank. Now let's see what are his job responsibilities. First we will see what is his role in navigation. Basically he is a navigating officer and he is in charge of the bridge, so to say, because all the navigation equipments, all the bridge equipments, the charts and publications and all the other equipments on the bridge are maintained by the second officer. So you can tell, the bridge is like the kingdom of the second officer. If you want to find the second officer, either he'll be in his cabin or on the bridge, because all his job are related to the bridge and watch keeping. So you will always find second officer on the bridge. Okay, that is during the sailing time. So he corrects his charts. Nowadays the charts are becoming paperless. So he will correct all the egg discs. So there are a lot of corrections which come to egg discs also that he has to correct. There are so many documentation. There are a lot of manuals on the ship, on the bridge. So that he has to correct, like you have the ALRS volumes, you have the Admiralty tide tables, there are sailing directions, there are so many publications on the bridge. So a lot of corrections keep coming to those publications and all have to be corrected. Even though third officer helps the second officer to some extent, but mostly it is all the second officer's responsibility. Also the navigation equipment is his baby. What is the role in cargo function? He is one of the main watch keepers. In case there is an extra officer, then they keep 4 on 8 of watches where he keeps one of the watches, and he always keeps, even in the navigation or in the cargo work, he always keeps the devil's watch, which is called, it is the 12 to 4. Okay, if he is doing 4 on 8 of watch, then he does afternoon 12 to 4 and then night 12 to 4. That's the responsibility, the amount of responsibility the second officer has. The whole ship sleeps in the night 12 to 4. Only he is the only person who will be awake. Maybe a able seaman or a oiler in the engine room with the watchkeeper. If the vessel is in UMS, these are the only two people who will be awake from the 12 to 4. That is the second officer and his able seaman. Okay, so it is a very, very responsible job during the cargo operation or the navigation watchkeeping. Okay, so he does the toughest watch, which is the afternoon 12 to 4 and the night 12 to 4. Cargo function, he monitors the cargo loading and discharging operations under the supervision of chief officer. He always ensures the safety of cargo operations, how it is carried out, and he also monitors the deck crew who are working in the deck during the cargo operation. He coordinates with the engine room for any pump requirement or all other cargo related requirements. He communicates with the engine room during his cargo function. Okay, the second officer's function becomes a little difficult. If the cargo is for a long short duration, and the vessel is on a tramping route, that is, we don't know where the ship is going next, so he has to do the cargo work, he has to complete the cargo watch keeping, then he has to go up and do the bridge watch, where he has to he has to plan the passage, he has to do the passage planning, he has to tell the distance to the next port, how much time you will take, and what are the charges required. All those things also he has to do. Okay, so it becomes a little tricky at times if the vessel is a tramping vessel which doesn't know what is the next port, and he is also required for the cargo operations. Then it becomes a little tight for him. What is the role in ship maintenance? He's he maintains, as I told you, he's the king of the bridge, so all the equipments, everything he maintains, and he is also the doctor of the ship. He is also called the medical officer. He manages all the medicines under his care. Okay. Ship operations, as I told, first he is the doctor, so he has to maintain all the medicines under his guidance. He will have to maintain all the inventory and everything, and he is guided by the medical guide to ships. There is a manual, and also the master will guide him. Master does a higher medical course than him. The master does the Medicare and he does the medical first aid course. Okay, in case somebody is sick, they first report to the second officer. He maintains a record of who became sick, what medicines he gave, etc., etc. And during the cargo operation, that is before and after the cargo operation, arrival and departure, he goes to the stations, and that is the stations is called when the ship comes to the port or ship leaves the port. Then that time they have to go and tie the ropes. So he is involved. He usually goes to the aft, that is backside of the ship. Chief officer goes forward, and the second officer goes behind for tying up the ship and leaving the ship. When the ship leaves the port, then they have to take the ropes on board. So that time also he goes. And any other operations are going on, any cargo tank cleaning going on, gas freeing going on. This is for the cargo change, grade change. If it is a tanker, if it is a bulk carrier, there is some hold cleaning going on. All these things he gets involved and assists the chief officer in getting it done. He is also going to be the chief officer next, so he also trains under the chief officer for gaining more and more knowledge. Ship safety. He is again, in some of the ships, he is called the safety officer. Safety officer has a specific duty as per the ISM code, which again we will discuss in a later video, where I will explain all the duties of the safety officer. And you would have recently seen the last video which I have made on the security officer. If not, please go and watch that video. I have made a very detailed video on the ship security officer, which is actually mostly the ship chief officer. And safety officer is sometimes chief officer and sometimes the second officer. In some companies it is the second officer who is the safety officer. In some companies it is the chief officer who is the safety officer. The safety officer has very specific roles on ensuring the safe operations, ensuring safety is adhered to all the operations, whatever you do. And in day-to-day operations, he has to monitor, he has to report, he has to notice all the unsafe acts and take actions. He has to discuss the unsafe acts during the safety committee meeting, etc., etc. I will cover a separate video on the ship safety officer. Please do watch the video. Ship security. He is again a supporter for the chief officer in his function, because the chief officer is the ship security officer, and there is ISPS code and the ship security plan, which we discussed in the last video where we discussed about the ship security officer. There is also drills where there are specific duties and responsibilities for each crew in case of any security related emergencies. So second officer also becomes a very important part in managing, and he also is given roles and responsibilities for any security related incidents. Emergency is very similar to the ship security. He is a very important part because he navigates and he is always there in the bridge. So he becomes a very important part in any firefighting or flooding or collision or any kind of emergency. He becomes the main party in support of the chief officer on the deck side. In case of the engine room, any emergency, they become the support side. So the chief officer and the second officer become the support side team and assist the engine side in managing the emergency. That completes a very short video on what the second officer actually does on board. The second officer is a very important rank as we discussed, and he cannot be discussed with, and he is part of the safe mining community. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Please do like the video if you found it useful. Please do share it with others, friends and colleagues. Please comment if you need any other information or you would like to add some points. And lastly, please subscribe to the channel so that you will get a notification as soon as we put the next video. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye-bye.